Morning all, and what a glorious morning. The skylarks are still singing, I don't know if you can hear that. But after yesterday's walk at Cheswick, it was such a beautiful morning that I thought I'd come down to Goswick and film the second of the two towers, and also go out onto the beach when the tide is out and show you what that is like. I've also brought my power kite, which I might get up at some point, but ironically there's not a breath of wind. This used to be Goswick Hotel, and what you can't see is the fantastic view out the front, which we will see in a minute. If I turn around here, you can see the second of the two towers. Morning. The tarmac road is turned into this sort of track here, and this track eventually leads you all the way to Whole Island Causeway, and it's an absolutely super footpath round the headland on Goswick Links. And there's actually a fantastic bird hide as well, which you've got to look out for, which is just round the corner just before the causeway. So we're looking back here at the hotel and where I parked the car, where I've just come from, and now we're at the back end of the tower here. And this tower is actually in better condition than the other one. I'll pop in and have a look, see what I can find. But we'll get to the top of the hill here and you can see why it's built where it is. And this is Goswick Sands. Heading down towards Whole Island. You can't actually get up into this one, you need a ladder. But it's of similar construction to the other one. But what I'd love to do with this is turn it into some sort of summer retreat. I'd love to live here. And I was surprised that somebody with too much money has not already done that. But I'd imagine the land is owned by the military, so you probably need special permission. But what a place to live, and what a view to wake up to in the morning. That's just glorious. So I'm walking down onto the sands now, and the tide has just gone out. I wouldn't come down here if the tide is coming back in, but by coming down here just as the tide is going out, it lets me walk over this flat area here. And you can see the sort of size of area that I'm dealing with here. So you don't want to be caught out here when the tide is coming back in, I can assure you. What a day! You don't often get it like this, I can assure you. This is just special. Have a look around. Right over there is Whole Island Causeway. That'll be about a mile away. But this area is absolutely huge, and you've really got to watch where you're walking here. And I tend to stay on the hard bits of sand and sort of zigzag my way through them all. I'm gonna have to get a wet foot here. Here we go. Hey, made it. So you can see where I'm heading. An old wreck out here. There's already been somebody out here with their dog, by the looks of it. But there's the shipwreck. That's quite a big boat actually. But this is as far as I dare go really, because there's like a water channel that flows through the middle of all this. So you've got another 3 miles on the other side of this as well, and at least a mile to the causeway. But the sand is actually quite firm down by the water's edge, and that's the way I'll walk back. These are the bits you want to avoid, anything with water in. So you can walk into there and be right up to your waist before you know it. And it also at the very edge can get quite soft, as you can see here. But if you stick to the dry bits in the middle, and don't be afraid to double back at any point, don't try and cross the water. Just double back onto the hard stuff, and you'll be able to walk all the way along to see the wreck. Definitely getting the old foot wet here, just have to go for it. Oh just. Oh dear. Wet foot. Don't know what this thing is here. Can't explain that at all. There's been some sort of jetty out to it. That looks like a plank of a boat. That's metal though. I don't know what that is. Did do a bit of research. Covered in barnacles. Oh, won't watch the tide. Isn't this glorious though? Well, I've made it back to the second island, and this is the bigger island of the two. I keep saying it, but what a day. You wouldn't believe it was -2 when I set off this morning. I'm sweating a bit now. But you get quite a good view of this island. Oh, he says, tripping over the dunes. God, that's quite soft. And when we get to the top here, I turn round. You've got Berwick in the distance, in the mist. You've got the second island over there, but it's difficult to see, and the first tower as well. And this must be an island for skylarks, because that's all I can hear. But in the spring, all this area is cordoned off, and round the Cheswick links as well, for rare nesting birds. I'm not quite sure what type, but I'll find out and put it in the description. But the mist is actually starting to roll in now, with the weather warming up, so I'm going to head back to the car park. But for timing your walk, I'd leave a good hour before low tide, and that gives you plenty of time to get out, get along, have a look at the wreck and back. And it's always best to go with somebody else, although I've been away on my own today, but I've been down this area many times and I'm very aware of all the shifting sands, and I know where all the hard sand is, but basically it's along where the water line is. Well, I must say that was a treat for me today. You know, when I started off it was -2, now it's really warm. I don't know what it is, maybe 6 or 7. But it just shows you how quickly the weather can change out here, because it's suddenly turned really misty within a space of 5 minutes. And here's a good tip: if you're out there and it does get misty and you can't see where you are, just follow your footsteps back to where you came from. But I've really enjoyed myself today. Ironically, I've not been able to get my kite out, if you pardon the expression. There's hardly a breath of wind. So if you've enjoyed the video, thumbs up. We'll see you next time.